session number 10 for the day. Topic is Enabling Food Processing, Pharma, Brewery, and Chemical Industry.
We are talking of chemical industry. We are talking of petrochemicals, fertilizers, bulk and niche specialty chemical, pesticides, all this chemical industry. Today, the chemical industry is of the size of 220 billions. And in near future, around 25, 27, we expect it to reach to 300 billions. And experts are estimating that maybe by 2040, we'll reach to 1 trillion. So that's a huge number that we are expecting. And accordingly, the demand will go for the all support services, including steel. So this is what McKinsey has summarized. We are, 2021, we were at about $180 billion. Around today, we are around 220 billions. In near future, we'll reach to 300 billions and maybe 850 to 1,000 billions. That's 1 trillion in 2040. And we will be growing in the range of, say, 9 to 10% and close to double digit. This is our competitiveness and market attractiveness. This is a summary of how different industries are based in the market, how competitive we are, and what is the market attractiveness. And this gray area that you see, that's a sweet spot. Most of the industries are falling in this food and feed, additives, dyes, agrochemicals, specialty polymers. A lot of industries are falling in this zone. So we are medium to high level of market attractiveness. At the same time, we are medium to high cost competitiveness. So a lot of investment is expected in this region to come. And we expect we will be growing fast, and the investment to the tune of maybe 100 billion will come into the industry. The same is the case with the inorganic chemicals. A lot of inorganic chemicals are also falling into the same high market attractiveness and high cost competitiveness, which is positive for us, positive for Indian industry, and we look forward to this. This is more of a balance of payment and which industries will be trade deficit and trade surplus. I think we can skip this slide. This may not be very relevant for the discussion. The key advantage of Indian chemical industry, why we are growing, as we shown that there is a market competitiveness and growth, because there is a sustained support from government. There is a ease of doing business. We are day by day, we are improving our index on doing ease of business. Government is definitely supporting us on this. The capex requirement, we have all ingredients which are needed for high capex inputs, and we have required manpower and skilled labor. So that's a enablers for this industry. And there are some challenges also along with this enablers. Environmental is a challenge. I think we need to discuss more on this as we go along. Trained manpower. We have a lot of manpower and a lot of labor availability, but the skilled manpower availability is becoming a challenge day by day, and people in the industry will, I think, vouch for it. We are, falling short of the people who can really fit for the job, I'll say. The cost pressure from China, that's a constant nagging issue, which we continuously need to work upon. And then policies, there are some of the policies that still need to be facilitator and enabler. What this industry growth will require, steel structures, civil structures, mechanical equipment and machines, piping and walls, tourism, transportation. So steel industry has a lot to contribute in this growth, because major chunk of steel industry comes into the process industry or chemical industry. Almost 25% of the stainless steel goes for the process industry. So, and much of it is in the exotic range, and mostly it falls into the 300 series, which is 304, 316, 310, 321, 317. And unfortunately, a lot of the, material has to be imported. And we still don't have, India has enough stainless steel capacity, but the specific grades that we need for the process industry, much of these grades are not available, and we had to rely on the imports. And as we will, exploring new horizons and getting into new molecules, more and more difficult chemistries will be pursued. We'll get into more corrosive chemicals, more high temperature applications, and there the requirement of steel will be more specific and higher end steel. Probably we'll look for more duplex steels suitable for that. And I think we'll discuss some of these requirements today in ensuing sections. I think this is the immediate what I wanted to discuss. Maybe I have a brief on the company. If we are short of time, probably we can skip that, because I see we started late, so that we can cover as we go. Probably this snapshot will set the backdrop on which we can discuss further our sections. Thank you.
My name is Shrikant Vade. I am representing Praj Industries. I work there as head of delivery, which is essentially the manufacturing and procurement part of the industry. So that's how I'm connected with stainless steel. So I'm one of the big buyer of stainless steel. So I'll be what I'm going to do is probably go through our corporate presentation, whereby probably you'll get a glimpse of Praj Industries as such, and also the industry in which we are operating. And we'll also touch base upon the points wherever we are connected with stainless steel. So to begin with, Praj Industries is a 40-year-old company now. I'll come back to this slide later. So what are we essentially into? This is our business portfolio. And what you see on the left-hand side first, bioenergy, that's basically our flagship division. So if you know now, probably Praj Industries is very well known as the ethanol company. And our chairperson who started this company 40 years back, a great visionary leader, Dr. Pramod Chaudhary, he is also known as Ethanol Man of India. And so he had thought of this ethanol usage in India 40 years back. And it was little, or rather we'd say much more ahead of the time. And we started in a very small way. We had a R&D setup, and we started with the setting up the distilleries. And now we have grown this business into a big thing. Last week, if you have tracked the G20 summit, there is a global biofuel alliance announced, and a lot of credit for that also goes to, if I may say so, to Praj for having made it on such a big scale in India. So what we are making probably here is a big portfolio, starting with the traditional 1G ethanol, which is the first generation ethanol, which is made from the sugary feedstock, also from the grain feedstocks. So that's the 1G first generation ethanol. We are also into second generation ethanol. A big scale plant was inaugurated by Prime Minister last year. It's already operational, commissioned at IOCL Panipat. So that's the second generation ethanol, which is actually ethanol being made from the biomass. And then we are also into compressed biogas. And probably you will see that in times to come, hundreds of such plants will get commissioned in India. Many of the big conglomerates have already announced their plans. Some plants are already commissioned, operational. And this is going to be a very easy low carbon replacement for CNG. So any waste will be able to convert into biogas. And that's how we'll get into a more sustainable fuel. The next thing in this portfolio is going to be the sustainable aviation fuel. So if you know, probably if you read the news about 2 months back, India's first flight from Pune to Delhi from AirAsia had taken off with indigenously made sustainable aviation fuel, which was blended up to 1%, and that was made with the Praj technology. So that's the future. It's said that almost up to 50% of blending can happen, but for that we require a lot of ethanol and then later on sustainable aviation fuel to be produced. So that's the overall portfolio of biofuels as such, which comes into bioenergy, which is what is written there. We are also into pharma sector, which is a subsidiary called Praj High Purity Systems. That factory is located very near from here. It's at Wada. There we produce all the high purity water systems required, the skid mounted modular systems required for the pharma industry. It's also now getting into the electronic silicon industry, also requires that. Then we have a big portfolio of engineering businesses. One of that is brewery. So what's written as the session title here. So we are also into manufacturing of brewery equipments. So probably any alcohol what you could test in India or any beer that you'll test in India, I mean, highly good chance that it's made from Praj brewery or the distillery only. So almost 80% of the breweries in India are made by Praj. So this industry is probably little at, growing at a sluggish pace because of the COVID. During COVID times, people probably stopped drinking beer. Now it's again going back. So we hope that this will again get into, higher growth numbers as we grow, go ahead. So there we are also into another business, which is critical process equipment and modularization. This is also coming in a very big way. This segment, we are focusing on the energy transition and climate action portfolio, wherein we supply, we design, we supply the equipment which is required to set up all of these big projects. So if you know now, the world is moving towards green hydrogen, and there are a lot of equipments that are required to make those projects happen, and Praj is one of the leading supplier for equipments for that. In fact, so we have a factory in Kandla, which is specifically dedicated for this particular business portfolio. We have realized that this segment is growing very fast. So we have already now initiated action to set up a new factory that's coming up in Mangalore, and in few months' time it will get fully commissioned. It's going to be one of our biggest factory. It will be dedicated for this business. And a lot of stainless steel is getting used there. The other business in that segment is effluent recycling and zero liquid discharge systems. So we are also into water treatment, effluent treatment, recycling, and zero liquid discharge systems. So a lot of innovative solutions are coming up in this segment also. Again, this also probably is one of the big consumers of stainless steel per se. And last, what we have put up there is our R&D center, because we believe the backbone of all of our businesses has been the R&D. And since inception, we have ensured that we don't lose focus on R&D. We have almost close to 400 patents filed. There are about 100 scientists working in 16 labs. So it's a very modern infrastructure that we have invested. About 250 crores we have invested into setting up the R&D labs. So that's the overall portfolio for Praj. If you go back to this slide where we showcase what exactly we are into in terms of numbers. So if start with the revenue. So revenue is about 3,500 crore for the last financial year, and it's growing. Last 3 years, probably we have registered average CAGR of almost 60%. So that's the way we have grown. And one of the primary reasons for that has been the government policy of having 20% blending of ethanol in petrol. And that target was advanced by 5 years. Earlier it was at 2030. Now it was advanced to 2025. So which required about 17 billion liters of ethanol manufacturing capacity to be set up in India. We have already reached around 12 billion, and I'm sure by 2025 we'll be able to reach that milestone also. So that's the number, 1,000 plus installations in 100 plus countries. We have 400 plus overseas references, manufacturing at 4 different locations, 1,800 plus employees. This is already crossed 2,000 now. 90 plus research scientists, 300 plus patents. It's almost close to 400 now. 40% of our customers are actually repeat customers. 10% of ethanol, whatever is manufactured globally, is actually made from the Praj technology, Praj plants. 40 years of existence, and we believe that as we are growing big, we also focus on being healthy. So ours is a healthy balance sheet company giving dividends to all our investors. We have expertise across the value chain in terms of manufacturing, project management, commercialization and scale up, engineering integration, technology and innovation. These are, a lot of big names you will see as our clients across the globe. Every continent we have big setups. These are our basically the partners. We also believe that we alone can't progress much on R&D, so we have a lot of alliances, tie-ups with the educational institutions like ISER Pune, Pune University, IIT Bombay, ICT, NCL. In fact, at many of these institutions, our chairperson has given a lot of contribution in terms of setting state-of-the-art labs in those institutions, and we are collaborating on the technology development. We also have market tie-up with a lot of foreign players. Big oil industry, as companies are our consumers. Technology tie-ups with some of the big names in the Western world, and association with all of the government agencies also. So that's our R&D center, which is called Matrix. So one of the area, apart from, probably I forgot to mention, apart from biofuels, we believe, so that's what we call as biomobility. So like there is a e-mobility, what we are talking of electrical vehicles, we are also talking of biomobility, wherein the vehicles are primarily running on ethanol or the biofuels. And we believe the time has come. Recently, Toyota has launched a flex fuel vehicle. So it's also flex is in terms of it will run on ethanol, and it will also have a hybrid version with a running on electric batteries as such. So the other thing that we talk about is bioprism, in which we believe that like from oil refinery, you get variety of products apart from all the fuels. So there will be a biorefinery in which you will also get equivalent products. So we are focusing currently on bioplastic. We already made the tar, which is made from the bioprocessing, and that you can easily use for the road making. So we believe the same portfolio of co-products that you are getting in a typical oil refinery, you should be able to also get it from biorefinery, and that's the bioprism for us. So these are our manufacturing units, and as you can see, first two photographs, you can very clearly see it's all stainless steel. So we have dedicated manufacturing units which are manufacturing only stainless steel equipment. So first factory is in Pune, which is primarily devoted for all the bioenergy sector. So all the ethanol plant, distilleries, breweries, all the equipments get manufactured here. And this plant is 100% stainless steel. So what we use here is 304, 316, 316L. We don't need anything much more than that. That's what primarily we use. We use coils, we use plates, and this 100% stainless steel. Second unit is in Mumbai, which is in Wada, which is for that high purity system waters. So again, 100% stainless steel. Kandla ACZ, we have multiple units. One of that unit is again dedicated to stainless steel equipment manufacturing, which is again that's based in ACZ. So all our international ethanol orders we process from there. All critical process equipment also we manufacture there, which directly get into the export market. And on ESG, so you can see that our basically the portfolio itself is dedicated to making our customers more sustainable and towards the circular economy. So on ESG front, we are very aggressive. Apart from what we produce and what we give it to our customers, we believe that our own operations also should be sustainable. So we work towards that, and this is a very primary goal for all of us. We are also very much into the social service sector. We have done a lot of work there, and probably you can see here, some glimpses of what we have been doing. So that's the brief about Praj Industries as such. Thank you, Vinit.
Work with a company called Dorf Kettle. It is a privately held company, still not public, but we make very famous fuel additives, and we work for every refineries in India and worldwide. So fuel additives are for improving the mileage. So we have brands like Milex, XPS, one for diesel and one for petrol. It can give you at least 1 to 2 miles of advantage if you use those. We are making polymers. We are making pharma intermediates like ingredients for Dettol. We are the only producer. We make polymers. We make very specialty chemical like the brake fluid for the aircrafts. And we make the polymers. We make the extinguishers. We make a lot of specialty chemicals. We have about more than 370 patents in-house. We have about 70 to 80 doctorates. And we have a big R&D center of about 30 acres land in Taloja. We are multinational, headquartered in India. We have offices in Malad, Thane. We are based in India in Taloja, then in Lote, Parshuram. Then we are also based in Gujarat side, in Dadra, Mundra, in SEZ. We have a big plant. Then in Dahej. Globally, we have plants in US, Brazil, Saudi, in Dubai and other countries. So we are a multinational company with almost 2,000 people on rolls, and we are expanding in the big way. So on the chemical industry is growing very big way, so we are equally part of that. So I'll just take you briefly. My colleagues just now talked about chemical industry, but I'll touch upon chemical industry and tell you how that is related to stainless steel consumption and what are the grades used and how it is growing and what could be the challenges. So Indian chemical industry, as already told before by my colleague, was that it is about 178 billion. In 2019, it is growing very big way, and it will cross $300 billion by 2025. It's almost growing in the range of about 10% CAGR, which is very unusual growth and very high growth. And it is sustaining for last few years. So we would see in the range of $400 billion GDP contribution by 2030. So the investments are coming big way in this industry, and the capex, if you see, any time, any given time, it will not be less than 6,000 to 7,000 crores, which translates to about 50% of this industry consumes stainless steel in terms of the equipment, in terms of the piping, in terms of the valves. So this is a figure which is actually on the lower side. There are a lot of capexes which are in planning stage. So I would say it will be about 15 to 20,000 crore in the coming years. So if you see the chemical industry, how it has grown, this is the trend, and it is going to grow in this same way and maybe more. Actually, we talk about chemical industry, but many people may not be knowing, what are exactly this categorization. There are 80,000 commercial products which are manufactured in this industry. You can imagine the range, and we are the 6th largest producer of chemicals in the world. And we are going to become 3rd or 4th very soon after this first China. And we chemical industry contributes about 7% to the GDP of India, which is also a very significant figure. And globally, we are the 4th largest producer of the agrochemicals. Agrochemicals means all the insecticide, pesticides, and all other herbicides. There are many other things which go into agrochemicals, chlorination products, fluorination products. Then we are almost, India accounts for 16 to 18% of the world production of the dye stuff. Dye stuff means this is going to the coating and paint industry. That is a big industry, and dye intermediates. This is also growing in a big way, and India has almost more than 15% share in this market. India ranks almost 4th in the exports and 8th in the imports at global level, excluding the pharma. Pharma market is entirely different, so that is not listed here. The domestic chemical sector, small and medium, is expected to showcase about 18 to 20% revenue growth, which is directly going to translate into the growth in stainless steel and other material of construction. I think India's proximity to Middle East, which is the world's largest source of petrochemical feedstock also, its benefits to the economy of scale. So stainless steel consumption, if I go and try to relate with the chemical industry, how does it stand? I think I'll just tell you very briefly. Presently, the stainless steel consumption in India has grown. It had slowed down, but then again it has grown by 10%. So we are about 4 million tons to 5 million tons as per the data. And 20 to 25% of the stainless steel is alone consumed in chemical industry. That is not less than 1 million ton, but with the growth we are seeing, it is not far that it will cross double. It may become close to 2 million tons by 2025. So this, again, if you see the other industry and see the per capita consumption, we were very low. In fact, we are very lower than Europe, US, and other countries. We're almost about 2.5 kg, but now it has grown to 2.8, and we're going to touch very soon into 3. Because many sectors, not only the chemical process industries, but if you see the railway coaches, you see the seats, chairs across, you see the handrails, you see utensils, you see so many decorative items, stainless steel is growing in a big way. It is not only chemical industry, but there are other industry which is using stainless steel to see that, they are having less corrosion, less replacements, and longer life. These are all few data which I have written here because our industry is going to grow big way because we are also having a barrier from the Chinese by anti-dumping duty. Okay, now coming to many grades, many of the people only know stainless steel 304 and 316, and in chemical industry also versatile. If you see, people don't have exposure on the grades and where to select, what to select. There it comes to the manufacturer to educate them and go for the best grades. It can happen sometime they are very little bit costlier, but they may be a better grade and they may have a lower thickness, less weight, and may be easier to fabricate. So I think major grades what we see in this process industry is 316, 316L, 304, 304L, very common. But there are other things like 904L which people don't discuss much, but it is used in process industry vast way. 317 is also used, and 321, 347 in very high temperatures. In refineries they are used, which are in India manufactured, and sometime we have to import also, because higher thicknesses and forgings, they are not available. Then even the cladding, sometimes these are cladded on the other plates like alloy steel. So we have to import from France and other countries. They are not available in India as of now. The technology of cladding is still not fully developed, and the overlay is done by companies like Larsen and Toubro, where I used to work before, and they use stainless steel for the cladding. Then some hard material like 310, 410 for valves, heat exchangers are used, titanium grades of 316. There are other many grades which are not talked. There are companies like Outokumpu who make very special stainless steel, which is being discussed and being experimented to use in the chemical industry. Some of them I'll just go through. One is like 254 SMO. This is super austenitic steel. And then there is a alloy 825 nickel alloy. Then LDX 2101 is a lean duplex, and it has a very good use in services like acetic acid and others. So I think we need to get, I don't know how many people are from the user forum from the chemical industry, but we need to get educated from the manufacturers, specialty steel which are available in the market, where we can use it. We can take from them the corrosion coupons, we can use in our services and check them, That is very important. I think that can develop the steel industry, and steel industry is going to become very big. That is what it is projected to. I think that's all from my side. Thank you.
The topic of my presentation is stainless steels and advanced materials for growing needs of the industry. Stainless steel, we know that it is almost everywhere. Everywhere in the sense, we can see it everywhere. Even on the dais, I see this table, it is made out of stainless steel. And there are reasons for it, why we are using more and more stainless steel. Because it is the most sustainable material that can be used. We can also take pride in saying that this is the material which can be 100% recyclable. We know that as like on the globe, we are having resources, but resources are very scarce. We cannot put unending pressure on the earth and continuously extract resources. So we have to find sustainable solutions in all ways possible, not only restricting it to stainless steels or steel in particular. So earlier my panelists have touched upon stainless steel. a little bit more about it, that it is a corrosion resistant material, it is heat resistant, it is high strength, it is hygienic, it is aesthetic and cost efficient. That is the reason we are wanting to have more and more usage of stainless steel. There are some references from Outokumpu side which we will showcase over here, that these stainless steels can be used in our daily life, like in the washing machines, in solar panels, also in facades, so which makes the aesthetic appearance of the building more better. Outokumpu is the leading producer of stainless steel, where we use more than 90%. Today it is at more than 94% of recycled steel. Our carbon footprint is the lowest on the global industry average. It is 70% of the global industry average. And one interesting part, which is very much interesting for all the end users over here, that we are the first in the industry to offer product-specific carbon footprints. And these are printed on our test certificates when we supply the material to the customers. So actually, our stainless steel helps customers to reduce their carbon footprint by more than 10 million tons annually. So there are different grades for different purposes. There are some grades which Mr. Das touched upon, the standard grades like 304, 3L, which are specifically for the corrosive environments, and 316L for highly corrosive environments. And furthermore, there are some applications where we are not restricted, or we should not restrict ourselves to 304 and 316L grades, rather move up the value chain and to grades like 254 SMO, where you have challenges on wet corrosion, and you know that 316L or 304L is not sufficient for your requirement. So here are some applications, or rather for some special grades, which are showing how we can progress from standard grade to a better grade. 4622 is a grade from Outokumpu, which is a high chromium but ferritic grade, which is in comparison to conventional chromium nickel austenitic stainless steel. It gives added value that it is low and more the price is low and more predictable. 316 Plus is an advantage grade, and it is finding applications in newer applications, and it gives improved product performance and also is a competitive price. Yeah, the same thing over here, 316 Plus against 316L, which gives superior corrosion resistance, gives better mechanical properties, and also gives better formability and superior performance at a competitive price. So some applications shown are wine tanks for more aggressive conditions, tank stands, and other equipment that are prone to corrosion. LDX2101 is a grade which gives an advantage against 304L because of its improved and ultimate saving through strength utilization. We are also showcasing a little bit about our Forta range of duplex grades, which includes 2205, 2304, and also super duplex grades like 2507, which are finding growing applications, newer applications in the industry. What are the characteristics of duplex grades? That is high strength, more than 400 megapascal, PRE values more than 26 and up to 43, higher wear resistance, low thermal expansion, and higher energy absorption. Due to also good fabricability, due to which it is a cost-effective and sustainable solution. It is also available from Outokumpu side in thick plates up till 150 mm, coils, and a plate up till between 3 mm to 10 mm, and also cold rolled sheet strip coil in 1.1 millimeter to 6 millimeters. Similarly, about super austenitic grades or high alloyed austenitic grades, we have a large product portfolio starting from 904L, 317L, and ranging up to the higher super austenitic grade like 654 SMO, which has the highest PRE in its category of 56. This particular grades within the Ultra family, they give key benefits like they are better and against the 304 or 316L category. It includes 904L 254 SMO as well, and we have decades of experience developing and testing and using our products. So general characteristics of these grades are austenitic structure, very good corrosion resistance to uniform corrosion, good and exceptionally good resistance against pitting and crevice corrosion, excellent formability, and also it is non-magnetic. Now I am showing a little bit about what applications we have been developing in the food processing, also in the conveying, brewery tanks, mostly finding application with a 304L, but yeah, we would like to see that the industry moves to higher grades like lean duplex and duplexes further. Yeah, I have shown a picture about bioethanol, and yes, we know that we are already graduated to grades like 2205 and also using 2507 in this particular product category. And we see further more developments, and I will have some questions on this to follow. So that is all on the presentation. Thank you so much. My first question to Mr. Neeraj Tiwari. How do you see the progress of within the pharma and chemical industry in India over the past few years? And how do you see the growth, or rather, what are the growth expectations in the coming few years?
I think I had shared the presentation and Manal has shared the same presentation. What we are saying that we are going at a fast pace. We are going at least 10 to 11%, and maybe by 2040 we are trying to reach to 1 trillion. So that's what I'll say. And the chemical industry is almost everybody. I mean, whichever company you see, everybody has a huge capex lined up, and everybody is growing. So this is a good time to be in chemical, I think.
Yeah, we know that Praj Industries is investing heavily into circular economy and sustainable biofuel solutions. What do you feel, sir, is required from the stainless steel industry to complement your efforts for a greener tomorrow?
Yeah, so probably like I touched upon in the presentation, we are also into the international business. So one of the things that's going to come up is, for the European Union at least, it's very well known now about the CBAM. So where we have to ensure that the carbon footprint of whatever we are exporting is going to be much more less. And to control that, steel is something which we need to control. So unless we have steel which is made with lesser and lesser carbon footprint, it's going to be difficult for us to be present in that market in a big way. So that's first thing. What we probably are going to require is steel which comes to us as a consumer should be having less and less carbon footprint. So that's number one. Second thing, if we have to believe and execute in the way it's needed for Atmanirbhar, for Make in India, for Made in India, and for the world, then probably we have to see, are there any import substitutes getting created? So what are we importing? Probably all higher width, higher thickness plates, and some specialty steels grades, whenever are required. If we can get substitutes for that, which will come at a much faster delivery, that will be a big thing for us. So that's another thing which we would be expecting from Indian stainless steel manufacturers for plates or tubes or for any of other products. So those are primarily the things. Another thing, looking at the way our consumption has grown. Last 3 years we have seen it's simply got doubled and, it's got multiplied. So we have had issues in terms of getting consistency in delivery. Pricing itself was a big challenge last year. We have seen all the, the things that have happened. It's gone up and down. And so we had big challenges in terms of managing inventories. So we need some predictability. We are into a project business. The gestation period for a project is at least, 6, 7, 8, 9 months. And in that, by the time we put the cost proposal to customer and by the time we order the material, there could be a gap. And if we have these big price fluctuations, it becomes very difficult for us to manage. So that's, I mean, in a simple layman terms, these are the expectations, I would say, from the stainless steel industry too.
You have mentioned about India being the world's sixth largest producer of chemicals and also third largest in Asia. And also you have shown confidence and in your presentation that it is soon expected to be third largest in the coming times. How do you see the growth of this industry in India for the next 5 years, and what are the drivers to achieve this?
This chemical industry, as we know, China won because of this COVID time. We had a lot of things not getting imported. Indian industry grew multifold, and we have set a trend of almost 10% growth, and it is going to be more than that. So next 5 years, definitely we are going to move from 200 to 300 plus $billion in chemical industry. The drivers for this is mostly the technology development, because the R&D, still we are at the back seat. We have very limited resources. The talent pool is developing because in the last few years, in the last decades, the chemical engineers or the researchers, they have moved to the IT sector. And we are seeing them back because the chemical industry has started giving very good salaries also and the remunerations. So that is also attracting the talents. And talent pool is one major thing which is going to boost and supported by all the manufacturing industries, especially in chemical industry. We use stainless steel in a big way. If you take any specialty chemical industry, the amount of steel used, stainless steel in fact, not the carbon steel, is not less than 50% of the equipment cost. So I think we offer a very good package deal, just not plate, just not tube, but like some companies have started giving the manufacturer of steel has started manufacturing vessels, the equipment, they are giving the services. That is one part. Another is more and more getting involved in their R&Ds of chemical industry by giving the corrosion coupons, testing the new grades, like we discussed about lean, duplex. This can give a lot of potential for them to choose good material and make the sustainable chemical industry and grow them. I think these are the drivers, main drivers I would say. And the low capex. There is a lot of pressure to reduce the capex. And everybody tells that if China can do in this price, how you are asking 2 times of that price for capex for the same plant. So I think there is a lot of pressure where the capex, capital cost, especially in the steel construction, in terms of the equipment, we have to cut down and reduce them. I think these are the few drivers, I would say.
Thank you, Mr. Das. How does the industry see the pressure due to the climate change, and what are the steps being taken towards it?
I'll put it slightly differently. I mean, it's not pressure due to climate change. Climate change is the real issue now. It is on to us. I mean, it's not something we can predict in a near future. I mean, this has become a reality. And I mean, if you look at the incidences which has happened in our own country, recently there is an incidence in Libya. So nobody can deny the climate change impact now. Now it's a collective responsibility of all of us. How do we deal with it? And I think, there was a realization that the stage has been set. If you look at the SDGs, NDCs and let's say 2030 targets, 2050 or 2070. So, companies have prepared their roadmap and everybody has started working on it. Now, to the what extent that will be successful or what is the degree of success we will achieve, that is yet to be seen, because there will be technological challenges. There could be geopolitical situations like Russia and Ukraine, which cannot be predicted, and their impact, they can be counterproductive and they can pull us back on our path to climate change mitigation plans. But at the same time, realization is there and the roadmaps are there. People are working on it. I'll say most of the companies have prepared their plan for scope 1 and scope 2. And some of the companies are working on a scope 3 also. I understand Autocompu is working very actively on this. But most of the companies would be working on, currently looking at their own processes and trying to find out avenues where they can improve the carbon footprint or look at their supply chain service sectors and see how they can minimize the carbon emission there. So that's what I'll say, that everybody is working on it, and that's a real challenge, and we can't deny it now.
Thank you.